A year from now, two versions of your business exist. One is paying full price for every hour of work that could be automated, increasing the headcount every time workload doubles, and watching your smaller competitors outwork you with twice less people. The other is running leaner with more margin, less headcount, and moving faster just by integrating AI in every part of the business and doubling every person's output inside of the company. Same business outcomes but completely different engine under the hood. I call it AI native businesses, a tiny percent of companies that figured out how to use AI as leverage and make it the main engine running the company where every decision goes through AI or runs alongside it. Unfortunately, 90% of businesses today are still stuck in the 90s or pre-AI era. A lot of spreadsheets, manual work, and the most important, zero AI leverage. And the truth is, if you aren't using AI inside of your company to create leverage, you are going to be left behind in the next couple of years. But that being said, I'm not here to fearmonger, we are going to fix it. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what it takes to become an AI native company and give you the framework for AI implementation inside of your business. And if you'll watch this video until the end and get it right, your business will look completely different in the next 90 days than it was before. Let's begin. Real quick, if you want to implement AI inside of your business, that's exactly what we do at Systems Department. Me and my team already help dozens of businesses integrate AI into their daily operations. So, if you want us to audit your business, identify the highest ROI opportunities for AI and automation, and then actually implement these AI solutions, check out the link in the description to book a call with me and my team. Now, back to video. Alright, so before we talk about anything else, the first thing that businesses think is that they need more AI tools, which is never the case, by the way. Most business owners I talk to think that they need to find the right AI tool. They probably tried ChatGPT, maybe they played with some automation software, and they've probably seen all these demos that you see on the social media. But nothing really stuck in their business, and it still runs the same way it always did, which is a problem. And the key thing here is that the problem has never been the tools. Using the tools like Claude or ChatGPT or any other is just the tip of the iceberg, because there's so much more to AI, like AI agents, autonomous tasks that they can complete, full-blown AI operating systems, and even AI employees that work for you and do things inside of your systems. And the actual problem is that nobody has sat down and actually looked at how work moves through the business. Where does it start? What it touches, what gets stuck when something goes wrong, and where it disappears entirely. For example, a company that we worked with had 11 email inboxes, and nobody was really managing them. Leads were coming in, getting buried under supplier emails and spam, and just dying in there, receiving no response. And that wasn't an AI problem, that was a process problem that AI could solve. The real question you should be asking yourself is, where is the work getting dropped, delayed, or done manually where it shouldn't be, instead of just asking what AI tool should I use and focusing on finding right AI tools. That's called doing a process audit, and it almost always surfaces something that looks obvious in retrospect. Now, once we understand this, we move to the shifts that changes everything, and this is understanding the difference between roles and workflows. This is a mental model I always keep coming back to. And the thing is that every business has an org chart, titles, departments, and reporting lines. And that structure was built to organize humans, but it breaks in the age of AI, and I'll explain right now why. The thing is, the actual work that people do doesn't care about the org chart. Work is just a series of steps that one follows to complete certain tasks. Something comes in, something happens to it, and then something goes out, over and over again. And the problem is that when you got humans in each of those steps, the work moves at human speeds. Someone has to remember to do certain thing, find time to do it, and then actually do it correctly. When you or any of your employees already has a lot on their plate, things start falling through the cracks. And the shift I'm talking about is simple. Stop thinking about the role you need to fill and start thinking about what the work actually is and what steps need to be done to achieve the certain thing. Let's take the quantity surveyor business that I worked with. David from RapidQS and his employees were doing every report manually, 4 to 6 hours per report every single time from scratch. The work was super repeatable, it had the same structure, same format, and same data inputs, and all that they had to produce was an Excel file based on all of these data inputs. And previously it was all just done by hand. And what we did, we fed an AI system all of their past reports, and now when a new project comes in, he just uploads the project documents and the system can generate the initial draft automatically. Then what happens is that a senior quantity surveyor goes in, reviews it, iterates a bit on it, and it goes out. And the thing is, it ended up automating 80% of their client delivery, so essentially it produces a big chunk of work and takes it off of their plate so they could focus more on the things that actually matter. So what used to take a half a day now takes a fraction of that. And he, by the way, ended up scaling his business 10x after this because he doesn't need to add more headcount and can just produce more work with less people. And that's the key workflow shift here. You are not entirely replacing your people, but you are taking some manual processes that used to take a lot of time and you are just automating 80% of them, allowing people to take the time and produce either more work or do other things that will help you to grow your business. Now that we have that out of the way, let's just explain what an AI operating system is and how an AI native business looks like. An AI operating system is just a set of automated workflows that run your business in the background, handling the stuff that would otherwise require someone's time, so means human. For example, for that plumbing company that I talked about at the start of this video, it looks like this. All 11 inboxes they have flow into one system. The spam gets filtered, urgent messages get flagged, routine inquiries get a draft response ready to review, and owner is also notified. Client follow-ups that have gone quiet get picked up back automatically. So the owner just opens his morning and instead of 11 inboxes of chaos, he just gets a prioritized list of what actually needs him and what he has to execute on. Additional thing we had was on the invoicing side. He can now just open the Slack, ask the bot which jobs are completed but not invoiced, and it will pull them from Fergus, their job management system, draft the invoices and then just sends them to the clients. And this, by the way, was one of his key problems because he had a lot of work sitting uninvoiced inside of his software and he just needed to create the quotes and send the invoices to the customers so they pay him. And he had to do all of this manually, so now this is done almost automatically for him and he just saves a big chunk of time thanks to the AI operating system. So as I already said, an AI operating system is a set of connected workflows that runs the business in the background while the owner also runs the business but does the tasks that actually grow his company. And here's also a sneak peek into how AI operating system works, what layers it consists of, and how an AI native business looks like. So at the core we have the business layer which stays untouched. Your business model doesn't change. Whatever you sell, however you deliver it, the AIOS wraps around your operations, not through them. It takes on work that currently sits on your plate or on your team's plate. Then the next layer is the context layer, which is how it knows things about your business. The reason most businesses fail with AI is that they skip this layer entirely. You need to feed AI the context about your business and how it actually runs. Without it, it won't be able to do great work. The next layer is data, where you connect it to all of your numbers. Once it has context, you connect it to your data and tools. Now it can track your numbers in real time, know what's happening across your business, for example your revenue, calls booked, or any other of the metrics, and it can build reports without you asking twice. Once that's done, we move to the intelligence layer, which is one of the most important layers here. This layer watches what your team is doing, surfaces what matters, and flags what needs your attention. You stop hunting for information, it just comes to you via Slack. It just comes to you via different messaging channels. And finally, once you have all of these layers in place, you just automate and build, which allows you to execute at scale. The outer layer handles tasks that used to eat your week. It takes actions, builds things, runs reports, and executes works on your behalf or on your team's behalf. This way it frees up time so you and your team can focus on the things that actually grow your business. Finally, how does one actually start an AI transformation to actually become an AI native business? And the number one reason that the businesses fail at this transformation is that it feels like a big project. And the truth is, it's not. Or at least it doesn't have to be at the start, you can do it step by step. Here's how you should approach it. First of all, you do the task audit, where you list every task you do in a week and you break them down by category. For example, content tasks, admin tasks, client delivery tasks, team management, and any other tasks that you have at your business. And you really try to capture everything. You just don't say I do email. You go and describe each step that you take along the way to achieve the certain goal or complete certain task. Once it's done, you evaluate each task. How long does it take? How often does it happen? And does it require your judgment or does it require just your time? Which means that you can automate or delegate it compared to tasks that require your judgment because you need to keep them on your plate or just optimize it and make yourself more efficient. Once we have our tasks scored and evaluated, we move to the prioritization framework. We focus on tasks that have high time consumption and have high frequency. Once we have this ranked table of tasks, we move to the execution loop. We pick one task and automate it or reduce the time drastically that it takes to complete this task. Once that's done, we move to the next task and we repeat this process completely. And once we automated a lot of time, we have unlocked new capacity which we can dedicate to the new products, new channels, new campaigns, and fixing other broken systems that you ignored, so your business actually grows instead of you just doing the manual works that could be automated. And the key insight here is very simple. Most tasks don't need you at your business, and you might be thinking otherwise, but once you do this task audit and all of the steps that I just showed you, you'll understand that most of the tasks don't really need you, and you just need a clear process to define so your AI or even a human can just go through them and complete them for you. And if you choose to use AI for these tasks, the AI needs structured context, and this is why you do all of these things to provide this context to your AI. And from there, the systems will be able to handle these tasks for you, freeing up your valuable time which can be spent elsewhere. And that's kinda it. The businesses I see really pulling away right now from their competitors aren't the ones with the most people. They figured out how to use AI as a leverage, and they make AI a core part of how their business operates. They have less manual work happening, fewer things that are falling through, and the owner actually has time to focus on the main thing, which is growing the business. And that's what we at Systems Department help to build. If you want us to come in, do this audit and figure out where AI actually fits in your business and where it will create the highest leverage, check out the link in the description. And if this was useful, check out this next video where I break down and rank the best AI use cases in business. See you there.